Yo, yo, yo. What's the dealio, yo? What's the dealio? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Listen, it's Sunday, and we about to get it popping. If y'all tapping in, man, say what's up. Let me know you guys are here. All right? Who up in here? Who up in here, man? Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Chaos, what up? How you feeling? Christiana, she said, I've never been so excited to see it live. I'm so happy to be here. I can't wait to learn more. There we go, Christiana. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Wise, get the strat. Hey, yeah, y'all. Hey, make sure y'all get the strat, all right? Get that strat indicator. Let's get this money this week, man. Davita, how you feeling? Happy Sunday, y'all. Tima, or Tim A, what up? How you feeling? Cortez in the building. How you doing? How you doing? Hey, listen, y'all. Energy, man. All right, it's Sunday. We got the Super Bowl later on today. I'm not really tripping on it, but I wanted to come on earlier. Well, this is the time I usually do anyway, but we got to talk the stock market, and we're going to get this week situated. We're going to kick it off, and we're going to find some setups. I'm going to let you guys know what's up, all right? So make sure you guys lock in and we focus, all right? P. Bryant, what's up? How you feeling? Swift 22nd. James R., how you doing? Doug, what up? He said, man, I care about this live more than the Super Bowl. Hey, shout out to that, man. Salute to that, all right? That means a lot. You know what I mean? Johnny, what's up? What up? How you feeling? How you feeling? What's up, Liz? How you doing? Email Samels, said, thank you, my man. Got 69% off Friday on Friday. There you go. Beautiful, beautiful. Yo, Ant, what up? How you doing, Ant? Adam, what's up? He said, I made it. Appreciate you giving us the game. For sure, Adam. You know how we do. Doc, what's up? WAP. We about to WAP the market this week. WAP, WAP, WAP all week. All right? We about to get some WAP alerts. All right? Best Beezy, what up? Why? He said, don't know if I'm going to see a Patriot Day parade. Hey, I don't, listen. I don't like the Seahawks. I don't like the Patriots. I could care less. I'm probably not even going to watch it. You know what I mean? I'm about to go to the gym after this, and then I'm going to get some studying done. So I'm probably not even going to watch the Super Bowl, honestly. I'm going to just watch the highlights, all right? So that's where I'm at with it, you know what I mean? If I'm being honest. So what's up, Henry? Kelton, what up, Kelton? So let's go. What's up, Master Bader? How you doing? Derek, how we feeling? How we feeling? Ash Cash in the building. One thing Ashley gonna do is get 400% trades on a weekly basis, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ash, Masturbator. Yeah, we on live early today. Yeah, we gonna whap them. Burpee, what up, Don Chi? Yeah, I'm gonna be on these charts later on too, some more. Caesar, what's up? Mark Quinn, how you feeling? All right, Andre, what's up? What's up? So listen, y'all. Listen, if you guys are on here right now, couple things. Nothing that I say in this video is financial advice, all right? If you want financial advice, be sure to talk to a licensed financial advisor. Next thing I'm going to say is be sure to keep the energy up in this live, and let's make sure we get this video to 200 likes, all right? 200 likes, y'all. If you want to change your life, if you want to change how you trade and make more money, then please, please, please be sure to follow this channel, subscribe to the channel, and take these lives and these videos seriously, all right? I'm giving all the game away for free, all right? We don't charge nothing. If you want to execute on everything we talk about, then be sure to come and join the Discord, all right? Come trade with us, okay? She said, only because I learned from the A. Shout out to that, Ash, for real. It's all love. I want to see y'all win, you know what I mean? Yeah, let's get them likes up, y'all. Let's get up to 200 likes, man. What's up, Sugar Sweets? How you feeling, Keisha? You know what I mean? Key Wealthy, how you feeling? How you feeling? What up, Reggie? What up, Reggie? Exactly. We trying to get to the Super Bowl in real life, man. You know what I mean? And listen, professional football and basketball. I'm a basketball fan, but professional sports, it's all an act anyway. They all playing games anyway. They playing everybody. You know what I mean? So it's all good. So listen, we should have as many people on here as likes. Exactly. Let's get them likes up as y'all come in, y'all, okay? So listen, we about to get it in. We about to get started. So what up, Assets Pac? He said, I'm a 49er fan. This live trumps exactly. I'm a 49ers fan too. I'm a Cali. Listen, I'm a West Coast dude. So I'm a 49ers fan too. So if I grew up on the 49ers, it was the 49ers or the Raiders. I wasn't a Raiders fan. So, you know what I'm saying? We had to choose the Raiders. I mean, the 49ers. So yeah. American Khalifa. Moni, what's up? LaRue. What up? She said, hit him hard and watch Bad Bunny at halftime. Hey, gotta watch the halftime show, right? All right, so let's get it started, y'all. All right, let's get it started. So, check this out. So last week, right? What's up, Scorpion Queen? Last week, okay, we called some bangers. I talked about Microsoft last week. Microsoft went absolutely insane to the downside. We just been smacking the market all week. I did not lose a day trade all last week, okay? From the live trades, we've been killing it. We've been murdering IWM as well. You already know how we've been getting down, all right? So, I'm a Raiders fan, so you know how things go. Exactly. Come on now. Come on now, Ant. I thought we was better than that, Doug. Washington in the building. Okay. Hey, you from Washington, so I can't be mad at you. What's up, business minded? All right, y'all. So listen, the market sold off starting on Tuesday, Wednesday. On Wednesday, I believe. Wednesday, Thursday. I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we're gonna go to SPY first, and we're gonna get it situated. All right. So let me go to the daily real quick, and I'm gonna find some. We're gonna find some sauce for y'all. All right. We're gonna find some levels. Now, listen, y'all. Let me say this. Be sure to make sure you guys are setting alerts on levels. All right. So by a show of the comments, who sets alerts on my levels? Who sets alerts on my levels, y'all? If you set alerts on all of the levels that I give you guys, let me know in the comments. Right? Let me know in the comments if you guys set alerts for all of the levels that we give. Shout out to Nashville, man. All right, what's up, Angie? If you guys are just now tuning in, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from. All right? I want to know where you guys are tuning in from because I want to know where we reaching. All right? So I need that. Okay? She said, me, I do. Okay. All right. So let's make sure we're continuously setting the alerts for these levels because these going to hit. All right. I do all the time. Now, would you guys say that these levels be hitting? Not just IWM, but other stocks as well. Would you say that these levels, these setups on the weekly watch list, they be hitting? Do you guys benefit from these setups that I'll be giving you guys? Let me know in the comments. Juan, he said, I'm watching from the Dominican Republic. Isaiah, this Juan from Miami. Blessings. And hey, that's what's up, Juan. Enjoy that vacation. He said, I lock them in every time. Okay. All your alerts be on target, on point. It would be crazy not to. That's true. Every time I may enter, sometimes before, I still set them. Okay. Shout out to Phoenix. Alert setting is mandatory. Okay. Lots of times they work out all week long. All right, I write it down, but no alerts. Don't write it down. Set the alerts, business minded. All right, what's up, Drew? How you feeling? Robinhood be playing. They do. That's why I like Weeble. All right, cool. All right, y'all. What's up, QTZ? What up? Setups be on point. Georgia. All right, yes. Levels are spot on. We see the proof every day they hit. All right. Yeah, they hit. May take some time to come through. Exactly. All right, how you pick your levels? You about to see right now. All right. Nard, what up, Nard and B? He said every week, all the levels hit. If not at times, if you follow, you can use the levels and make money. There we go. All right, shout out to Houston. All right. So lit. That's all the proof, right? If you're watching this and you kind of on the fence about me, then just look at the comments. All right. That's the proof right there. Now, the video said all your levels are fire. Easy money. What up, easy money? All right, y'all. So this is not a game, okay? None of this is a game. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go over SPY for the week, and then we're going to go over IWM for the week, and I'm going to give you guys my setups, and if we have some time, we're going to go over some other setups as well. I want to go over now, Scorpion Queen. I know you asked me about now, so we're going to go over now. So if I don't do it at the end of this live, remind me in the comments and I got you, because I said I was going to do it and I got you. All right? So I only lose when I stay in a trade too long. Sounds about right. So let's go over SPY, y'all, okay? Let's go over SPY. And then we're gonna get to it. Let me clean up my chart a little bit. All right, I'm gonna clean up my chart just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit, right? And then go from here. All right. Now, shout out to all the new members of the Prosperity Collective. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who got their chart set up. You know what I'm saying? If you on here right now, you following along, you know what I mean? Then shout out to you, right? You taking a step in the right direction, man. All right, so shout out to all the new TPC members who joined over the weekend. The rest of your life is never going to be the same, all right? So, we got, so I'm going to pull up these charts right here, and let's get it, y'all. All right, pull this right here. All right, boom. All right, if you guys are watching, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, y'all, okay? Let me know where y'all tuning in from. I'll see if we could do NQ. Yo, Pam, what up, Pam? You late. All right? No, I'm messing with you. So, yeah, them weekly levels be hitting on the watch list. Yeah, the weekly levels are my favorite, honestly, right? I love weekly levels. Daily levels are great for day trades, but I love on Sundays looking at the weekly time frames because it gives me a better understanding of what's about to happen. All right? What's up, pullback premiums? Why? He said, I watch older videos. That's how I know your research good. Yeah, then, listen, I tell you all the time, my older videos go crazy. All right? Do not sleep on my older videos. If you just now finding me, don't sleep on my older videos. Go watch all my videos, all right? These videos going to turn you up, all right? Jessica Johnson, she said, definitely think about joining. Don't think about it, all right? I ain't saying that to be aggressive. I'm just telling you. Anybody in the comments that joined late, they all are saying the same thing. They wish they would have joined earlier, all right? If you wish you would have joined earlier, put it in the comments, all right? Let Jessica know what it is, okay? So let's go over SPY, all right? We got SPY popping right here, okay? This is Walmart. Let's go over SPY. Dang, what's going on? Oh, hey, shout out to Ant. He smacked that Netflix put for 135%. You know what I mean? Shout out to Ant. We caught that one to the T. All right, so we got SPY right here. This is on a weekly time frame. On a weekly time frame, we on a failed 2 down. Okay, so let's see what the range is gonna be. Okay, for last week. All right, let's see what the range is gonna be. All right. So, all right. So we got the range down here is gonna be, your weekly support is gonna be 675.70. Make sure I'm on that. Yeah, we're gonna say 675.70 is gonna be your weekly support. Okay. So right here. 675.70. All right. And then we got the weekly resistance. It's gonna be 696.90. Make sure. $696.98. Okay. $696.98. All right. So we got a $20 range, y'all. $21 range. So last week was very volatile. All right, so we might have an inside week this week, or we could go 2 up on the week. All right, we got to see, but we got a failed 2 down right here. Okay, so this is the foundation of the game plan for this week on SPY. All right, so this is on a weekly time frame right here. All right, so this is the weekly time frame right here. Hold on, let's see. Okay. Yeah, American Cleaver, he said, join. Cortez said, I feel like I've been watching and learning from you teach long enough. I kind of already know where you're going with it. Appreciate you. Appreciate that, Cortez. Pamela, she said, join. Definitely going to change your life. If you're a new trader, definitely need to join this, man. Get really pointed out for all of us. Yeah. Henry said, I watched a few videos on Lux Algo for settings, but haven't seen the change. Hey, I made the video, bro, or join the Discord. That's all I could say. I wish I'd have found you about 6 Discords ago. Hey, it'd be like that. I get it. I get it. Yeah, it's going to be on my year anniversary of joining Discord. My life has greatly improved. I got a lot of things on the horizon, and he hit 6 figures in a year. All right, what's up, Joy? All right, Davita, she said, I joined at the end of December to be ready for New Year. I have made so much money, even got myself out of the hole I dug prior to joining. TPC is on point. Appreciate that, Davita. That's what's up. And we only getting started, y'all. All right. So we got SPY, like I say. Narden B, he said, y'all should watch every video. They golden. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. All right. Nisha, what's up, Nisha? She said, I just joined TPC fam and started the course this weekend. So much great information. Very excited for my journey. You already know what time it is. We're going to get you right. You know what I'm saying? Just look, stay locked in. Stay locked in. You're going to be making 2, 3, 4, 5K a day before you know it. All right? So listen, we got $21 range from last week, okay? So pay attention to this, y'all. All right? Pay attention to this. Okay? Let's break this down real quick. Let's break this down, right? We closed right here, okay? We closed right here last week. We closed at 690. We came up to 697, and we came down to 675, right? We closed right here. So if we open right here, we could come up, and what we gonna do? What do we always do on Mondays, y'all? What do stocks always do on Mondays? What do we say? Talk to me in the comments. Talk to me in the comments. What do stocks always like to do on Mondays? What do stocks always like to do on Mondays, y'all? Let me know. What up, Jamal? How you feeling? How you feeling? What do stocks always like to do on Mondays, y'all? Come on. Talk to me. Let me know. I talk about this all the time, and every week I drill it in so that you guys don't get cooked on Monday, right? Chop, no. Test, exactly, right? They're going to test. Depending on where they go, where they open up at in comparison to where last week's highs and lows are at, they're going to test, all right? So if a stock closed at $50 and its previous week's low is $48, then it's going to go down to $48 most likely and then bounce or break below, right? It's going to test. What do I always say? Stocks always test. You have to know where a stock is going to test, right? You have to know where a stock is going to test, okay? I'm going slow and I'm being methodical in this live because I want you guys to know this game and understand this game. All right? So they're going to test. It depends on where the stock opens up at. If it opens up close to the previous week's high, it's going to magnetize to that previous week's high and it's going to test. All right? If it opens up near the previous week's low, it's going to do what? Magnetize and go to that previous week's low to test. All right? It does this every single week. And it does this on Mondays a lot of the times. Why? Because it's a new week. It's a new candle on the weekly time frame. Okay? Know the game. All right? I'm giving y'all the game, right? I'm giving y'all the game. I'm going slow and methodical because I'm giving you guys the game so that you guys could go and be successful. So make sure you following what I'm saying, right? Make sure you are following what I'm saying, y'all, okay? So let's go back to SPY. All right. Boom. So if the previous week's high is 696.98, and let's go to the daily, and we got a green candle on Friday, what do you think could happen? We could go up and we could test, right? Boom. So we don't have any fair value gaps right here, so we basically in the green. We clear, right? So, and then you gotta look. This was this Monday? This was Tuesday and this was Monday. So Monday and then Tuesday. So on Monday and Tuesday, we could not get above the high, right? And then we rejected, right? So we're gonna come back up to 697 and we're gonna try to test. So for Monday, this is what we're gonna say. This is what we're gonna say. We're gonna say, boom. For Monday, tomorrow, calls above 692.26. All right. Calls above 692.26. So if we get above 692.26, you enter into them damn calls. All right. And what's the price target going to be? The price target is going to be a retest of what? Previous week's high, 697. That's a $5 move. All right? That's a $5 move. Okay? Let's go to the 30-minute. Let's look. Friday, we rallied, had no pullbacks. So let's find some areas. Now look, we could reject right here. So we got to pay attention to that. Okay? But let's look at some areas where we could be rejecting at. Let's find them. All right, so we got an order block right here, and we got boom, and we got boom. All right, so we're going to say a rejection area is going to be 694.89. 684, hold on. 694, yeah. All right, so rejection level. $694. All right. We can reject right here. Okay. Where else could we reject at? Let's go to the 4-hour. Let's see. 693.37. All right. We can reject these two areas. So if we go calls above that 620.92.26, the price target is going to be the 697, but we could reject that 693.37 and we could reject that 694.89. So I want you guys to pay attention to those areas. All right. Now, what if we pull back? Okay. Rejection areas are if we're going up and you're in calls, these are the areas where it could get smacked down at. All right. Now, let's look at some bounce areas on SPY. Okay. What are bounce levels? Bounce levels. Bounce levels are if the stock is coming down, where can it bounce at and go back to the upside? All right. So let's go 688.79. All right. 684.92. All right. 679.47. All right. So boom. We got calls above 692.26, but it could reject at 693.37 and 694.89, right? If we come down, we could bounce at 688.79, 684.92, 679.47. All right? These are the areas where we could be bouncing at. Okay? Keep these things in mind. If that makes sense on the SPY, y'all, let me know. All right? Let me know if that makes sense on the SPY, y'all. Put it in the comments. Okay, y'all say each of us, let's invite 5 people. Yeah, do that. Invite 5 people, right? If you know somebody that wants to make money in the stock market, wants to change their financial life, right? Wants to learn how to day trade, invite them to this live, right? Share it with them right now. Be like, listen, come watch this. You want to make some money in the stock market? Come watch this, right? Do that. That's what's up, Chaos. All right, what's up, CS Pill? How you feeling? What up, Griffith? Jamal, he said, good idea to take screenshots here, so if you don't, price this game. Yeah, for real. Does it make sense? All right, that makes sense, right? Yeah, we could draw back for sure. All right. We could also just start dumping, okay? So when I say a rejection area, a rejection level, that means that if we come up there and we start rejecting and you see a failed 2 up or a bearish 1 candle and you get confirmation, you could take entry on puts, and that could be at the top of the move all the way to the downside, right? Or if the bounce areas with the bounce levels, if we break through those bounce levels, that means we're coming down to the next area. So you can enter into puts if we break below the bounce areas. All right? This is how you take these trades. This is how you do it. So I'm teaching you guys how to play this game at a high level. All right? So if I say calls above 692.26, if you see we get to 692.35 and we reject, that does not mean entering the calls. That means it's time for a put. So when I have levels for calls, that also means levels for puts. You got to know how to think. Y'all see what I'm saying? You got to know how to think. All right? So with that being said, if you guys are watching, tapping in, man, be sure to like this video. All right? Get the likes up. Let's get this video to 200 likes. All right? We're giving away free game. People are going to make thousands of dollars tomorrow based off of this live right here. Okay? People have made over $5,000 in one day off of these videos. So be sure to like this video, y'all. Okay? And subscribe to the YouTube channel. Every single day we coming and we bringing you guys life-changing information and levels that don't miss. All right? So we about to go over IWM now. All right? Do we use a 4-hour time frame for bounce and rejection areas? I use the 4-hour. I use the 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really does depend, bro. It really does depend. Nothing, I need you guys to understand that nothing is just the same, right? I know everybody says, have a process for trading. Do the same thing over every time. Sometimes you're going to have to look at the 1 hour time frame when you don't usually look at it to find something, right? So my perspective is I like to be malleable. I like to be fluid, right? What Bruce Lee say? You got to be able to fit into any scenario, and you got to be like water. If I put water, I got this juice right here, right? I got this juice right here. This juice is taking the shape of this container, this glass right here, right? But if I put this water or this juice inside of a circular container, now the shape will be circular. If I put it in a box, it'll now become a box. This liquid, it takes the shape and the form of any scenario. You have to learn how to take the shape and the form of any scenario that you are presented with in the market. This is how you get to the bag. You cannot be fixated on one way of doing things. That's going to kill you. All right? So, Roswell, what up? So, I'm on one today, y'all. Look, we might, I don't know. I think a message might be coming soon. I don't know. Y'all, listen, y'all better tap in with me. All right? Y'all better tap in. I think I'm feeling a message coming on. I don't even know what the message going to be. But something about to happen. Let's go over IWM, y'all. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. All right, share this with a friend. Okay? All right. So, so as we can see, IWM went crazy on Friday, right? It was I missed my entry on here. I wasn't paying attention to the charts at the time. 2-1. I missed my 2-1-2 entry. That would have been beautiful, right? On the day, on the hourly, just two ups all day. Okay? Off this one candle, that would have been the one right there. All right? But it's all good because we don't chase. All right? So we got IWM right here. Let me see what y'all say. Say he cooking? Yeah. Be water or get turned into it. Exactly. Don't get it. Don't become a smoothie. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yeah. Y'all got to be light on your feet. You know what I mean? So, IWM. Now, what is this right here, y'all? What do we call these green candles? Right here. What do we call these candles right here? Talk to me. Talk to me. What do we call these candles? We call them boner candles. All right. When you see a green candle and it's just straight up, right? Straight up, that is a boner candle. Okay. Straight boner candle. It's just straight up. So, with that being said, boner candles always have to come back down. All right? Because it can't just stay up forever. So this candle is going to get retraced. And it's going to get retested, right? And then we had a gap right here. We gapped up. Okay? So we got a gap right here as well. So let me mark this. Okay? We got a gap. Right? Look at the 30-minute. Right? Came down. Right? And then what? We gapped up. So now we got a gap down here that needs to be filled. Okay? So we still on a daily time frame. All right. Caught that first move in a swing play. That's what's up, Adam. Exactly. Hey, y'all funny. Y'all funny. What's up, Kenny Javon? All right. So we got the boner candle, right? So it's got to get retraced is what I'm saying, right? That's the whole point. Has to get retraced. So stock ain't just going to go up and go up and go up. No, right? Has to get retraced. Look at this one. Came up, came back down, and got retraced. So this candle is going to get retraced. So now what levels within this candle is the stock going to come down to? Okay, let's go. Let's find out. So, well, first off, let's go to the weekly. We're on a failed two down on the weekly, y'all. All right. On a weekly time frame, we're on a failed two down. Okay. Failed two down. We bounced off of this area liquidity right here. Okay. So, let's go to right here. Let's go to the weekly support. 255. Yep. We got 255 for the weekly support. And then your weekly resistance is going to be 265.73. All right. So your range is going to be $10. Once again, last week the range was $10. This week is $10 again. Right? So, $10 range. Right? Now, we bounced off the area liquidity last week. So now what? What's next, Isiah? All right. Let's go find some areas where we could pull back at, some bounce levels. All right. Because if we pull back, we got to find out areas where we could bounce at, right? So we're going to say bounce levels. Okay. So we got 263.61. We got 262.93. We got 262.27. We got 260.44. All right. And then we got this gap down here to fill, right? But, boom. So these are areas where the stock can come down to tomorrow. Go to the 2 hour. Right? 263.15. Yep. Yep. Perfect. All right. So these are bounce levels. Now tomorrow, let's say IWM just wants to go crazy. We're going to say calls above 265.74. Calls above. All right. Calls above 265.74 on IWM. Or if we reject there, then puts below 265.74, right? I mean, at a rejection. Okay. Our bounce areas where the stock can come down to is going to be these levels right here, right? So, and then your price target, if we get above right here, I want your price target to be 268.04 because we got a rejection area right here, which is a fair value gap. All right. So we got rejection level. And this time it's also your price target. It's going to be 268.06. All right. 268.06 is your rejection level and your price target if we get above 265.74. Now we could see some rejection at 266.69 as well. All right. So I'm going to say 266.69 also, because we could have a resistance level right there. Right. Yes, 266.69. All right. If we get above 266.69, then we're going to come up. These are going to be your support levels or your bounce levels. All right. So you have 4 levels of support right here that I gave you as well. Okay. So you got your support taken care of. You got your resistance taken care of, calls above here. If we come down here and bounce, you could take calls over there, right? We go to the weekly right here. So we could just come up to 265.74 and then test and then reject, or we could just go higher, right? We just got to see. But this is going to be your game plan for IWM this week. All right. Let me know if that makes sense on IWM, y'all. If that makes sense on IWM, let me know in the comments. Okay. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. Okay. I'm really loving them retracement. Yeah, retracements are lit. What's up, sneaker girl? Dougie. Okay. Hey, if you got conviction, then, you know what I'm saying, do your thing. I got into, something as well. Sometimes you're going to get into a trade before the confirmation error and it's going to work out, and sometimes it's not. We just got to play we just got to kind of be okay with the outcome of whatever it is. All right. So, all right. So now, so the levels stand all week. The bounce levels, no. unless they're not hit. But the resistances and the supports, yes, they stand all week. All right. So, all right, cool. So now, y'all, now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys the setups that I have this week. Okay. Can you take a look at CMG and see if it's gonna keep falling? When we finish the setups, my setups, then we can look over those stocks if we got time. All right. If you guys are tuning in, be sure to like this video. Let's get this video to 200 likes. And also, let's make sure we subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from. All right. I want to know where y'all are tuning in from. I got something that I'm working on, and I want to know where I'm going to do it at. It's going to be a live event. Okay. It's going to be small. It ain't even going to be about trading for real. Okay. So I want to know where I could come and do this thing at. All right. So let me know in the comments where you guys are tuning in from. Okay. And also like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Every single day I'm bringing you guys life-changing information on day trading and on personal development, right? Perspective, wisdom, mindset, all of that stuff. Okay. I'm not just a stock or finance person. I'm all about the whole person concept, because I do believe that it don't matter how much money you got, you can still be a horrible person and you can still be unfulfilled and empty, right? This is about way more than just making money, y'all. Okay? I say this all the time. So be sure to tap in with your spiritual self, right? Tap in with your spiritual side of yourself so that you can become a better trader. Okay? So yeah. So we got Detroit. Hey, shout out to Detroit, man. Detroit be rocking with me. Charlotte. Chris Connor, what up? He said, I am way better than Spy. Yep, this is the most consistency I've had in my 2.5 years of trading. Really glad I found your channel. Shout out to South Carolina. He said this is the most consistent he's had in 2.5 years. All right. That's saying a lot. All right. So shout out to you, Chris. Columbia, South Carolina. Shout out to Chicago. I'm looking for a possible break, bounce or break at 261.61. Okay, for IWM. Kelton in Seattle. We should be at like 120, 150 likes. All right. Jamal in Charleston, South Carolina. Kenny Javon in Dallas, Texas. Amazon on a 1 bar. We're going to get through that. Come to the Bay Area. I'm from Sacramento, so, the Bay Area one day is going to happen for sure. Shout out to New York. Shout out to Florida. How would you play your Walmart put spring? I'm just holding on to it to see if this is going to be a shakeout and then we dump. That's really it. Yeah, I'm still in it. I'm going to hold and I'm going to see what we do this week. All right, I didn't get scared out of that position. Shout out to San Antonio. Shout out to Houston. FTAI, Aerospace, and APP, Tech Energy. Definitely listen to the inner self. Yeah, definitely got to listen to the inner self, y'all. Real talk. All right. So let's, what's up, Andres? Let's go over the setups for this week, okay? First setup, this is looking really good. Really good, okay? If you in Discord, you already know what the setups are for the week from me. If you're not, then this is going to be the first time hearing about them today. But here we go. Y'all ready? Let's get it popping. All right. Alexandria and Vacaville. San Juan High. Oh, shoot. San Juan High. We used to murder y'all in basketball. I went to Natomas High School, man. We used to murder y'all in basketball. Listen, VO Warrior. Okay, we got more Sacktown. Hey, we got to get more people from Sacramento on these lives, man, and in the stock market for real. People in Sacramento don't be doing it like that. Yeah, your mind state definitely affects trading for sure. All right. All right, so what we gonna do is first setup of the week. All right, watch this. All right, we got in phase. Look at this right here. All right, we got in phase. Okay, watch this. Just look at the setup. Okay, boom. So let's go to in phase. Okay. Yeah, Northgate and Thomas. Oh, okay, VL Warrior. That's what's up. Yeah, Nissan. Nissan, though. Hey, back in the day, man, we was the I went to Grant. Okay. Hey, listen. Hey, we used to Grant was tough, but we still used to beat Grant in basketball too. Now football, Grant was the best, right? But basketball, we had Grant for sure. All right, so we got in phase, y'all. All right, so in phase on a weekly, we got this 3 bar. All right, we got this is another boner candle. Okay, this is a boner candle right here. Um, we have no resistance until $60. Okay, 59.55. So my first price target right here is gonna be 59. You can say 59.37. All right, so price target one is gonna be 59.35. All right, 59.35, and then we got the next price target is gonna be 66. All right, 66. Okay, so calls above 52.95. Next price target is gonna be 59.35. Right? If you look at the daily, we on a 212, right? We got a 212 right here. Now, could we come and fill the gap? Potentially, but so many buyers are in here, probably not, right? So we got a bullish 1 bar right here. We could blast off this week, and then we could go touch $59, right? So calls above 52.95. All right, if you want to, you can enter calls above 51.58 off the daily instead of the weekly, but I chose the entry for the weekly time frame, okay? Because that just looks better to me. But if you want to get in $1 earlier, then feel free, and you could take entry on that. And in phase looks really good to the upside. All right. So that's the first setup. That's the first setup. All right. The next setup for this week. If you guys are watching, man, I'm gonna say it every time. If you have not, hit that like button. All right. Let's get the likes up on this video. Okay. So, next on the list. All right. Next on the list, sugar sweets. It can be a swing. It could be an overnight swing, or it could be a day trade, right? So here's the thing. That's a good question, right? When I call out these trades, you can swing it, or you can just day trade the move, right? I like, over time, I've really enjoyed day trading and having my positions being closed before the day is over, because I'm continuously getting better. And I like to have my positions closed a lot of the times, unless it's a longer term swing, right? When I'm swinging something for like 1 to 2 days or a couple days, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I like day trading and just catching a day's move, or swing trading, like longer term. So with that being said, you can swing trade it if you want, right? You can definitely swing trade it, or you can just know the move and know where it's going and just day trade it, every single day until it hits the target. All right, that's on you. Okay. So with that being said, let's go to the next setup. Now check this out. We got Google, y'all. All right, let's look at Google. Okay, Google, One of my favorite stocks. I love Google. We own Google right now. All right. So we got Google. So what's interesting about Google is on a weekly, right? On a weekly, I feel you, Adam. Yeah, it happens. Small account got crushed last week because of that. So two beautiful setups and it just got crushed. It happens, you know. So look at this. On a weekly time frame, we are at all-time highs right here. We touched 350, 349, rejected, came down, right? So we're kind of like indecisive right here. But I said puts below 319.86, right? The low of the week is what? 306. So why did I say puts below 319? I said puts below 319 because on a daily time frame on Google, we got a bearish one bar. So we got a failed two up and then a one bar. So 319.86 is actually the low of this one candle, right? It's the low of this one candle. So if we get below 319.86, you can enter in the puts and you could come write it down to this low of the week right here. If we break below here, then we're going to come lower and come down to about $300, right? So this is a critical piece of the information of this trade, okay? I'm looking at it on the weekly time frame because we got this bearish 3-bar right here, and we got an equal amount of buyers and sellers, right? Buyers and sellers. We got two big wicks, so we don't have a dominant area, but this was a bearish week. This was a red week, right? So when I'm looking at that, and then I go to the daily time frame and I see a bearish 1-bar and off of a failed 2 up, then we got a 2-1 setup. So if we break below 319.86, you enter in the puts. Now, yes, you could go and enter in the calls above 330.37, right, and then pop up here. But it's looking a little bit more bearish than it is bullish. So you could get ahead of the week's move by entering in at that 319.86, entering in the puts, and then you could write it down to 306. All right. So that's a $10 move right there on Google. That could change your life as well. All right. So let me know if that makes sense on Google, y'all. Let me know if that makes sense on Google. Shout out to AZ, Stefan. I know you in Phoenix, man. What's up? All right. Will the Super Bowl have a leverage on the market tomorrow? Not really. I mean, if they announce something like some company or something that's already doing things, then maybe, but not really. And if it does, it's just going to be very short term. It'll be a pump and dump type situation. All right. This ain't sport. Yeah, it's not sports betting at all. All right. So also, yeah, let's make sure that we get this video to 200 likes. I'm about to show you guys my last setup, and then we're going to go over now, like I told Scorpion Queen I would. We're going to maybe look at a couple stocks. All right. Hey, nah, for real, Doug. Look like a whopper. Not a whopper, but a whapper. All right. This week, we about to whop the market. All right. Listen, this week, y'all gonna hear whap so many times. You're gonna be dreaming about hearing whap. All right. I'm telling y'all, we about to whap the market. So if you want to trade with us, click the link in the bio. All right. Also, what I'm gonna do is tomorrow, I'm gonna say this, right? On tomorrow's live, we're gonna give away 1 month free of the Discord to somebody. Okay? Tomorrow's live, we will be giving away 1 month free of the Discord. So if you have not, email me your name, first name, last name, and why you're pursuing financial freedom, and you will be entered into this giveaway. Okay? It took a little bit of time because I wanted more people to be able to be reminded. So, listen, if you are not in the Discord and you want a free month free, somebody donated money, so that you can have it. All right? I got you, Liz. So my last setup is going to be CS Peel. I do not fear the incoming war. I've been in the military during war times. No, I don't. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. Um, I don't have anything to fear. All right. Exactly. I don't have anything to fear. Right. The scary. Listen. Honestly, if we keeping it real, I think that the COVID era was a crazier time than any time I've seen in my life. Right? That was a crazier time than any time I've seen in my life. The whole world shut down. Literally, the whole world shut down. During that time, there were so many people scared. I was not scared, right? Listen, I need you to understand this, right? I want all of y'all to understand this. There is a frequency that you have to live on, okay? Let me say this plain and clear. You guys, if you're not, learn how to meditate, and you need to learn how to raise your vibrations, okay? Raise your vibrations, right? You ever know somebody that just don't never get sick? And then you know somebody else that's always getting sick? Go look at their life and look at their life in correlation to always being sick and not being sick, right? Listen, you have to raise your vibration and you have to raise your frequency, right? I cannot stress this enough. I feel like my frequency is on such a level that I can see past the fearful things that most people in the world would fear, right? I understand it. I have empathy, but I truly do not fear so many things. Okay? Why do I not fear it? Simply because I, on an everyday basis, work on my frequency, I work on my vibrations, and I work on my internal energy. Okay? I'm just hear what I'm saying. I mean this with every word. I mean every word I'm saying. Okay? We are not fearful. Okay? We are not fearful. Work on your frequency, work on your vibrations, and work on your energy. Okay? Once you realize that you have nothing to fear in this physical world, the way that you look at the world will change. Okay? This is not a shouting message, but it is very important to understand. Okay? Like real talk. Okay? Close 9. No. My email, I'm going to put it in the comments. Right? It's also on every video that I do. If you already emailed me, no. If you want to email me again, just to make sure you can. But that's my email right there. All right. What's your prediction for market moves during war? It's the same as it always is. Oil gonna go up. You know, securities like Lockheed Martin go up. You know, tech gonna come down some, and then it's gonna start going up. It's just a cycle, right? It's just a cycle. All right. Yeah. Train your aura to attract wealth. Exactly. Moni said your frequency brought most of us here. Yeah, nah, for sure, Moni. That's real talk. That's real talk. All right. So I just wanted to say that. It's very important, guys. Don't just focus on what is the market gonna do or the worldly things, right? What's more important than the worldly things is literally the internal spiritual things, the spiritual world, the ether. That's what matters more than what you see in the world, okay? And all these, politicians, they already know this stuff. Okay? That's the cold part about it. All this information is hiding in plain sight. But we be so blinded by the fear, right? By the scarcity, by the cars, the money, the jewelry, the food, the entertainment, right? The sex, the lust. Because all of those things exist on the worldly plane, it overshadows what we should be able to be focused on and what we should be able to see clear as day. Okay? So if you're not seeing things clear as day, you got to ask yourself, why am I not seeing this? Your frequency. You got to raise your frequency so you can see above all the low vibrations. If you can't see above the low vibrations, then you're vibrating low. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is real talk. I can see the game so clearly because I raised my vibration, and now I could just see what's BS. I can see what the low vibrations are, and that's where we at, right? So we don't fear. We ain't scared of what happens with the war. Me personally, I'm going to be real with you. I'm just glad I'm not in the military anymore to have to deal with wartime stuff, right? Now, shout out to all my brothers and sisters in arms, right? I'm personally glad that I'm not there anymore, but outside of that, I'm not really worried, right? Because the economy is going to do what it's going to do. The market is going to move, and we're going to make money in the market, and I'm going to keep living frugal, and I'm going to just keep doing what I do, right? So, what's up, Wayne? Yeah, it's all a distraction, right? So, yeah, that's what's more important for sure. So, just wanted to say that, y'all. I think it's very important that, that is said. I know everybody wants what stock this, what stock that, but y'all gotta feel me. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta rock with me. So you gotta know that whenever I'm on live, it's always gonna be a lot of other stuff sprinkled in there that's not just stocks. Okay? So my last setup for this week is going to be right here. So my last setup for the week, for sure, C-Spill. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's still serving. All right, shout out to that, man. So I love the parts of the live. Get straight, yeah. Listen, y'all been following me for long enough. Y'all know, you know what I mean? I'm gonna always be this way. Anybody that knows me in real life, this is just how I am. You know what I mean? It's just a conversation, and it's important stuff, right? This is the stuff that moves the needle in your life, because a lot of times we're trying to move the needle in our life, but we're not doing the things that actually move the needle, right? A lot of times we're trying to do a thing and get to a thing, but we're not doing what we need to do to become that person and to have the understanding, right? Because everybody wants to be successful, but you don't have the understanding of a successful person. So if you don't have the understanding of a successful person, how can you be successful? You will never be successful chasing the thing. You will never be successful just trying to get a thing. But you will be successful if you learn how to have the understanding of a person that is of that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, please, y'all, I cannot say it enough. I sincerely hope everybody watches Wisdom Wednesdays. I sincerely hope everybody takes these videos serious. And I sincerely hope everybody is allowing themselves to tap into a deeper version of themselves. That's not just making money, right? Because what you guys are going to see as time goes on is going to be more people that have money that are going to be crashing out. They're going to be depressed and all these other things simply because they're not fulfilled in their personal life, right? Because the only thing that they knew how to do was get money, and that's it, right? Relationships in life are more important than money. And the crazy part is, because we're in a capitalistic society, we have to make money even though money doesn't matter, right? So we can be able to know that money doesn't matter. So you have to live above the money so that you can get the money, so you can attract it. But then what happens is when you attract it and you never had it, you realize money is nothing and it's not really the real point of life, but you need the money so that you can be free enough to live the life where money does not matter. And this is the whole paradox of life, right? So you have to not care about money as early as possible. And when you stop caring about the money comes, the opportunities come, all of those things come, okay? The less you care about it, the more it comes to you. I promise you. This is law. This is how life goes. This is a natural law of nature. And we are all nature. Y'all see what I'm saying? We are all nature. Okay? I know I said what I said, right? Just wanted to share that because that came to me. All right? Yeah, we're gonna adapt to any situation for sure. All right? May as well start a Sunday service. Hey, maybe one day. All right? Dwayne, he said, I don't know how I found your channel, but glad I did. Hey, shout out to the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the algorithm. Yeah, good frequency is the most important thing on this planet. All right. So the last setup, like I say, we got cores. Okay. I've been paying attention to this for a minute, right? They have millions in order flow. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the order flow. I already have it pulled up. So look, we got 2 million February 20th expiration date. They took entry at 1668. We got 1.25 million February 20th at 1680. Okay, their strike is 1950. Right? 1950. Their price is 27 cents and 41 cents, right? Which is $41 and $27. And then we got March 20th, 7 million. Okay, strike price of $17. And we got 1597 is where they took entry at. Okay, so and we got 2027 leaps as well. But we got over $3 million in calls that expire in 2 weeks. Okay, then we got March 20th, and that's $7 million in calls, right? So, and this was a block, these are all block trades. So when it triggered, when it got to a certain level, right? So that's cores. So now let's go to the charts. If we go to the charts, okay. So look, they was on their way up, right? In November, came down. Boom, boom. Then they was coming up again, like a couple weeks ago. Rejected, came down. I got wind of them around here, right? Because I thought they was going to retrace here. So then what happens? Boom, they came up, rejected, came down. But now last week, they jumped, they bounced, right? We got an area liquidity right here. Buyers are here, right? Look at the daily. Look at the daily. There's no fair value gaps until $19, okay? So I think that chorus could definitely come up. We got some sellers here, right? We got some sellers here. But on Friday, they had a really strong day. A really strong day, okay? So if we get above 1694, then we enter in the calls and then we could write this thing up, okay? So that is chorus. If that makes sense, y'all, let me know in the comments. If that makes sense, let me know in the comments. All right. Said message received. I appreciate that, Jamal. Already did the disclaimer. Assets Park said this is bigger than $1. Exactly. Exactly. All right. Oneness. Exactly, DeVita, for real. The Most High showed you his page. Yep. Yeah. So I just be making sure that, I listen to what the Most High is telling me, And I just try to live righteous, try to live a good life, and operate off of those principles and operate off those morals, right? So, yeah. So we got now, okay. Service now. We got service now. Um, let's see. So I said I was gonna go over service now, right? For Scorpion Queen on the weekly, we just coming down. Basically, we coming down to $83, pretty much, right? Crazy. We coming down to $83, y'all. First price target is gonna be 95, and then 83. Right? This is looking like it's just sinking. Okay. So yeah, that's simple. All right. So with that being said, y'all, that is the week, right? That's the week. That is what I'm seeing on the charts. We went over SPY, we went over IWM, we went over Google, Enphase, CORZ. All right. We also went over raising your frequency, right? Living above money. And honestly, let me just say, if you guys really listen to me, that has nothing to do with the stock market, you'll make more money in the stock market, right? That's just that's some free game right there. When you stop trying to make money, you're going to make more money. But you got to learn how to tap in with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So when you watching these lives or you listening to my videos, I challenge you to don't listen to it from a perspective of wanting to make money. I want you to listen to it from a perspective of becoming a better person and gaining, a depth in your understanding. Because I'm here to help you have a deeper understanding of yourself and also how to master yourself and then how to get this money. Because you can't get money without mastering yourself, without crashing out and burning. So you can make money without mastering yourself, but it's always something is going to happen and the foundation will crumble. Right? The foundation will crumble. I'm telling you guys this. I've seen it so many times. I've felt it before. Right? So it's like you're either going to do the work on yourself, and it may take a little bit longer to get where you want to go, or you're going to sacrifice yourself to get the money, and then some point in time in your life, there's going to be a catastrophe because the whole foundation was not set, and then you're going to crumble. And then you're going to be right back at square one, and all you're going to have to do is pick up all the pieces and be like, damn. And then you're going to have to start all over. Right? Do you want to start over 10 years from now? Or would you rather take 4 years of building your foundation while you're still growing? Because you could become a millionaire silently and consistently over 3 to 5 years. But if you go make $1 million or $2 million in a year and a half, but you sacrifice yourself and your personal development, that million will end up leaving your hands, and then your life is going to be in shambles. Right? It's going to be a lot of stuff that you didn't work on and getting that. So don't be such in a rush to make the money, y'all. I say this and I mean this with everything inside of me. Right? Don't be in a rush to make the money. Focus on mastering yourself. That is a law. Okay? It ain't about what stock is going to do this tomorrow. I could go over 18 stocks right now in 10 minutes. But there's a reason why I go slower and I take my time with these things, right? Because I'm hoping that you guys are able to read between the lines and I'm putting it on a silver platter for you guys, right? But I do know that I can give you every single level right? I could give you every single level and you could still lose money tomorrow because it's the psychology. You see what I'm saying? Patella said, "Do you have a job also, or are you full time?" Nah, I don't have a job. I haven't had a job in quite some time. Last year, I was in Colombia for 4 months. I was selling solar 2 years ago. Then I quit. I was going door to door, selling solar panels in Nevada. Um, and then I started trading while I was selling solar. And then I, started learning, figuring out the game. And I quit selling solar, had money in the bank, started full-time trading, and then here we are, right? So, no, I don't have a job. What I will say is, if you guys do have a job and you're making, 80K, 100K a year, keep the job because you'll be able to become a millionaire even faster. I think that we all have an infatuation with quitting a job. Now, if you're working at Walmart or Dollar Tree and you stocking boxes, then man, quit that job, right? But if you have a solid job that's paying you some good bread, minimize your monthly expenses, put more money into the market, learn how to master trading, stay at that job for another year or two, and then you could go run up a half a mil, and then you could say, I'm gonna leave, right? But a lot of times people try to leave their jobs and use trading as a full-time income. And I'm not saying you can't do it, but what I am saying is, if you sacrifice an extra 24 months, that's the difference between being up 50K and living off of your profits, or being able to be up 500K and now you really super good, right? And I also think that you should not quit your job if you don't have a supplemental income that is going to pay you the same amount that your job is paying you, because you don't want to rely on your trading profits. You want your trading profits to be able to be investment money into your shares of your stocks. That's just real, and that's just what I know. You want your trading profits to be able to funnel their way into buying shares of stocks. That's the real fast track to wealth. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. Okay. When I was younger, I used to be like, fuck a job, man. I ain't doing that. And anybody that know me, they know. People that had a job, they was real uncomfortable being around me. But as I've grown, as I've matured, I'm more calm now. And I understand that in life, when you're an adult, you just got to be strategic about stuff. All right? As long as you stay true to yourself and you're not getting disrespected, then, and you could be yourself, secure your bag and go flip the money in the market. But what I've learned is people that don't want to stay at their job and they want to go trade, when you are truly an entrepreneur and you have a plan for your money, you're not against going and getting a job, because you know that you're not going to be at this job forever. Y'all see what I'm saying? You got to understand, if I was to go get a job right now, it wouldn't be Del Taco or something like that, right? It would be a strategic position where I could be making 90, 100,000, right? 120,000, 8K a month, and I would be taking, let's just say 4,500 of that, and I would be putting it into the market. So that way, every year I would be putting an extra $60,000 to $80,000 into the market. Y'all see what I'm saying? So but I have that mindset that I look at it as an extra $6,000, $8,000 a month, and that money, I will be able to flip that and turn that 100,000 salary into 300,000 over the next couple years. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not against the job at all, right? Business right now, you start a business right now, you got to understand, if you could make 100,000, 120,000 a year at a job, you're better off than somebody who's starting a business that's struggling to make 50K a year. Yeah, they're free, but they're struggling financially and their investments are not growing, right? This is what happens when you wise up and you mature. I've been a younger person where I was free, but I was making money, but at the same time, the taxes was killing my ass, and I wasn't really making no money. So you got to ask yourself, do I want to be an entrepreneur that ain't really making no money? Or do I want to, you know what I'm saying, figure out a way to have a solid, job position that don't demand a lot of me, but I could be making 80, 100,000. I could use that to invest, trade, build up my trading account, you know what I'm saying, go run up 100, 200, 300,000, and now I'm sitting on six figures, and that's more than what people retire with. The average person doesn't even retire with $100,000 in their 401ks. So if you could trade and learn how to trade, and then in 2 years you sitting on $180,000, you have more money than what people retire with. That's why so many people who are retired are either stressed out about money or they got another job, because people do not retire with a lot of money, right? So this is the game that we playing, and we got to understand the game that we playing, right? Like, this is real life stuff right here, right? Yeah, dividend stocks, yeah. It's not about just trading. See, trading is the job. Investing is the real freedom. Y'all see what I'm saying? So it's like, when I learned in the stock market how it really worked, I just started asking myself, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? How can I make more money to put into more stocks? That's it. That's it. So if you, let's say you're making 5K a month at your job or whatever. Okay, now you learn how to trade options. Now you make another 5K a month. Now you put 3K into buying shares. That's 36,000 a year. Then you got a side hustle, you make an extra 3K a month. Now you put an extra 2,000 a month into more shares. That's another 24,000 a year. Now you got 36 plus 24, that's 58, right? So now in 2 years, you got $100,000 contributed into the stock market. If the market goes crazy and your investments go up by 50%, that 100,000 just turned into $150,000. You do that over in the next 2 to 5 years, you're gonna be sitting on $3, $4, $5, $700,000. It's about the sacrifice, though. It's about the vision. It's about the long-term vision. Y'all see what I'm saying? This ain't about what it looked like. This ain't about stunting. This ain't about flexing. I drive a Honda. I drive a Honda Accord. And I'm about to drive that thing until it tells me it can't go no more. Right? Now, it is a newer Honda Accord. It's pretty new. When I used to sell Hondas in LA, I got a good deal on it. But I drive a Honda Accord. I don't care. Right? I don't care. Could I have gone and got this Benz or whatever? Yes, I could have. But I don't care. Right? I'm about to ride my Honda Accord until the wheels fall off. You know why? Because what's more important than having a car, right, is having a crazy amount of liquid cash in your stock market portfolio. That's what's more important, right? But this happens when you wise up, right? I'm a I'll try to live a very simple and minimalistic life, right? There's going to be nice things that I have. There's going to be experiences that I want to experience. But at the end of the day, what really matters is having that true financial freedom. And I have a certain goal in mind, and that's what I'm working at. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk, y'all. Real talk. Yeah, it makes trading go better when you got a job. Exactly. Asset, he said, Colombia, that's why I came in. At first, I thought you went back home. Nah, that's funny. Nah, I'm not Colombian, bro. But I can speak Spanish now, for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, pride does keep a lot of people broke. It keeps a lot of people broke. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about, oh, I'm an entrepreneur, but you broke. You know how many broke entrepreneurs I done seen and met? It don't make no sense. That's why, honestly, if you just got a job and learn how to trade, you'll be in a better position in 3 years than the person who got a business right now. Real talk. This is real life. But people don't want to have that conversation. People don't want to have that conversation. Right? So, I'm not trying to impress. Exactly. Exactly. I'm definitely not trying to. Too many people trying to look rich with the same money. Exactly. Exactly, JP. Right? So it's just like, listen, y'all, you know, keep your expenses as low as possible. Um, if you gotta, you know, if you gotta, if you gotta get a job, if you have a skill set that can land you a job making 80, $90,000 a year, go get it. Go get it. Right? Like, don't have no pride. Right? Go make that extra five, $8,000 a month. Go put 2,500 a month into shares. Go add to your trading account, swing trade or day trade, and go run up your bag. And then when you sitting on 500,000, be like, okay, do I want to quit? And at that point, you'll have enough padding where you can say, okay, I'm about to make this next move, right? But don't just be out here just, free balling life and being like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm gonna just get it. No, because you still got to pay taxes on the money you make. So if you want to bring home and take home 100,000 as an entrepreneur, you really got to make like 220,000, 250,000. So you got to hustle harder to make less, right? It's a wicked game. It's a wicked game, yo. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So you're better off having a solid job and then just trading options. If I would have knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have done certain things in my life, right? But this is why I have the wisdom now. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not about what it looked like. It's not about the materialistic stuff. It's not about that, right? Live a good life. Don't be flashy. And don't buy into all of the materialistic stuff that everybody is flashing in your face, right? Because you don't know what's behind any of that. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing too. I appreciate that, Wayne. That's a real good point. You got to pay for your benefits. So let's say you're an entrepreneur, right? All right. What about going to the dentist? You ain't got no dental. This is how you end up. Your teeth ain't even clean. You know what I'm saying? What about your medical? Right? There's no copay, so everything you paying out of pocket. So not only are you making less money, you got to pay out of pocket for all of your medical, and that's gonna hinder you from going and getting what you need, and then you become less healthy. Right? This is real life. This is stuff you got to think about as you grow. Listen, I'm not 22 no more, right? When I was 22, I could do stuff like that, right? But now, as I've matured and I've gotten older, no, I'm in a different era in my life. So these are things you got to consider and you got to think about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to pay for the benefits. You got to pay for all of that stuff. Out of pocket as an entrepreneur. If you ain't got the stuff. You know what I'm saying? You go get that job. You got a good salary. All your medical stuff, it comes out of your check. Whatever you get, that's what it is. Because it ain't about how much money you make. It is about how much you keep and you manage. You know what I'm saying? Been an entrepreneur for 10 plus years. Trust me when I tell you it's not all it's cracked up to be. Exactly. Exactly, JP. And it was all because of this Discord and his family made me a better person. Yeah, bro. Best B he was making what, like 70K a year? Now you making 200K a year? And then you trade in too? You about to be a millionaire in another 1 to 2 years, bro. People glorify owning a business, but so may not understand what it takes to stay in the game. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Man, appreciate the talking, bro. Hey, I got you, Doug. Real talk. I got you. This is just real life stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I didn't know I was gonna say this, but I felt something coming along. You know what I mean? So Like I always say, man, when I'm moved to say something, when I'm told to say something, I just say it. But I'm just being very honest with you guys about, what it's really about and what it really takes. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, if I, if listen, if I had a some type of job that I could get and make 120, I would do it. I would do it. I'm already making good money, right? But an extra 8,000, 9,000 a month. I'm young. I'm 35 years old. You know what I'm saying? I would go flip that money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you look at a game from a different angle, your vantage point is gonna change. You feel me? When you look at the game from a different angle, your vantage point is gonna change. But the key is you gotta put yourself in a position to have a skill set that can make you the real money. Okay? If you ain't getting your skill set up, if you ain't learning what you need to learn, if you ain't learning like powerful skills for the society, then your earning potential is only gonna be 30K a year. That's when jobs don't make sense, right? A job don't make sense when they only paying you, eight 1,800 every 2 weeks before taxes. That's when a job don't really make sense, because that's just damn near your rent, right? But if you got what certifications, or you took some classes and you had to pass a test, and now that could get you a $90,000 a year job, $150,000 a year job, man, you better go take that and go flip your money. You better stop playing. Talking about I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be free, and you 27 years old, man, you better understand how to use your energy and have good time management. You could do both. You could do both. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be focused. Right now, people just want to go on vacation and they want to post it on Instagram, right? People be following me on Instagram from YouTube. I don't even be on Instagram because Instagram is a platform of the flex. I'm not a flexer. YouTube is a platform to really give people real life valuable information that are looking for it. That's why I like YouTube, and that's why I put all my effort and time into YouTube, because you guys want to hear what I got to say. Instagram don't value me like YouTube values me, right? I'm not here to flex, right? I'm here to help and inspire and teach and share. That's what YouTube is for, and that's why I spend all my time on YouTube with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Best B. When you winning, you just want to keep getting more money and keep piling it in and keep getting better. You know what I'm saying? This is real life. So wherever you at in life, really take an assessment and be like, yo, how can I drop my expenses? How can I make more? Right? How can I have a more efficient ecosystem of life? Right? What up, Big Bob? Let's go. I hope the vacation was good for you. He said, you're like the ET hip hop preacher of trading. Man, somebody else referred to me as Eric Thomas the other day, too. For real. Appreciate that, Broderick. These are the conversations that really help me evolve me as a trader, being a part of this community. That really cares. Yeah, nah, I care, man. I want to see y'all win, for real. Right? He said, I thought you was 50. If you thought I was 50, that's crazy. That's crazy. Right. He said, by the way you speak, though. He wasn't saying by the way I look. That'd be crazy. But nah, I'm 35. If no one says what needs to be said, people don't learn. It is important. Yeah, different perspective for sure, Davita. Real talk. Word to why. Yeah, CJ. All right. So listen, y'all. We went over the watch list, but I appreciate y'all tapping in, man, for real. All right. This was a message that just had to be said. It was told to me to say it, so I just wanted to say it. You know what I'm saying? All the cards somewhere. All the cards somewhere. What you were saying, bro? Oh yeah, Bob, and be sure to go tap into the replay. Yeah, tap into the replay, and it's gonna bless you. All right, we got all the setups and everything for tomorrow and for this week. All right, so appreciate that, Cyrus. Appreciate that, Cyrus. But yeah, y'all. So I'm gonna hop off, man. Y'all have a great day. Like I always say, make sure you get up out your head, go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. Beer gang. Hey, appreciate that, Mark Quinn. All right. Y'all have a great day, man. Enjoy the day. Enjoy the weekend. Appreciate that assets pot. Let's win this week. Let's win the week. Let's be calm, right? Let's be patient. Let's be disciplined. And let's get this money, y'all. All right. Let's build this money. Let's stack this bread and let's keep it going. All right. Y'all have a great one. I appreciate that, Pam. All right. All right. Not about how you look. You're the same age, but say you still got a baby face. I appreciate that substance. For real. All right. Hey, yeah, don't do nothing stupid this week, y'all. All right? Y'all have a great one. I'm going to holler at y'all. All y'all stay smooth, man. Peace.